Now, it has been the time period here, give or take, how much longer this little video is compared to the original video. Of course, you will have to consider uploading rates, bandwidth, Wi-Fi assistance on cellular data. Once all those things can figure in, I just now remembered that I actually forgot to clean the mess. Now, what did I did? Let me tell you what I did. I sat down over there by my Uncle Pete. He's over there taking a nap. And I just started eating the salsa or fresh tomato veggie stew. And then I thought, this tastes really good. Now, I had no intentions to actually turn it into salsa because I thought later on about this, which also distracted me. I think it's cilantro that is the difference on whether or not something is salsa to me. You know, because your salsa is your salsa, my salsa is my salsa. Your salsa is legitimately salsa for you, but I live by a different kind of truth. Van Halen reference. And my salsa is my salsa. And I'm not talking about drum beats either, because I can play a mean samba. A nice, anyway, forgot what I was saying. And I'm not acting right now. I do act pretty good. I do set things up. People that know me know that I could eyeball something, and if I'm scheming in my brain, I can subliminally set people up, which I understand that's a skill that we aliens have. Good grief. I'm good. I got distracted again. So anyway, so I come back in here and I go, wow, onions taste good. Get previous to that, I say, wow, onions taste good with this. I'm going to get more onions. So, because they're fresh. I mentioned they're fresh, of course. And so I come in here and I cut them and I admire the knife again, thinking, dang, I really like that knife. And then, you know, I'm always thinking, okay, now how do I steal Gammy Num Num's Bose headphones there? See, I'm thinking God is talking to me right now, and he's saying that you all need to either steal a pair from me and send them to me, but blame your neighbor, just as long as you don't rustle your neighbor, Nacho Libre reference, or buy them off your wife's check or credit card, or your husband's check or credit card, and then send them to me in Charleston. You can find me on the YouTubes. Matter of fact, email these to me. They'll get to me faster. Okay, so email me some Bose speakers that you steal. I answered my own question. How do I get these out of the house to steal from Gammy Num Nums? I email them to myself. That is brilliant. Sometimes I really wonder what it's like to be stupid like normal people, you know? Anyway, Gammy Num Nums made some pinto beans. I just saw the pinto bean package there in my periphery. I love pinto beans and cornbread and fried taters. Of course, I don't eat much bread because I'm not giving up my fried taters, and I gotta watch my sugars because I was pre-diabetic before I lost all this weight. All right, So I didn't clean it up. I was going to jokingly say I probably will forget, and you all see how I can forget stuff. So this is ADHD Awareness Month, and this is hashtag RAD with 2 Ds, Roads ADD, or you can put in a H, Roads ADHD. I am rad. I mean, look at how fun I am. I was goofing off at Walmart with the person behind the register, and then an older gal behind me, and she says, "Oh, go on ahead," because I just ran in to grab me and Uncle Pete something to drink because we were returning my bike. And man, I so want to tell you why we were returning my bike, but I'm going to fight it. So she says, go ahead and go in front of me. Now I have to close my eyes to tell you this story so I can focus. She said, go ahead and go in front of me. And so I said, oh, well, thank you very much, ma'am. And so when I got up there, she says, just tell her. And then at that time, the attendant turned around. And so I said, oh, yeah, this very kind lady behind me said that you could put my stuff on her tab. And then that got a big laugh out of everybody. And then I just start cutting it up like my Uncle Tom. And then right before I left, I said something about Tammy. I said, my wife thinks I'm just the cutest thing that's ever been, or something like that. Anyway, anywhere I go, songs come into my mind right now as I hear that. Anywhere we go, Newsboys. Anyway, everywhere I go, I'm always making people laugh. I opened my eyes back up and started staring at the mess here, and it threw me off. This is ADHD Awareness Hour or month. Or send me those for my ADHD suffering, because I'm hyper-focusing on those headphones and thinking, I like the Bose headphones. I had some little ones, but my problem is I'm either breaking them or I'm losing them. I'm scared to death to use my earbuds Pros. It just freaks me out because I know I'm going to lose them, or drop one and break one, or swallow one. I just know it's going to happen. Oh, and by the way, now that I'm at it, now I'm doing this one on purpose. Just, it probably is my ADHD in the sense of random thoughts going through my head, but there is a crazy connection. So, look, here's my bike. Look at that thing. And so I had not its maiden voyage. I still got to paint the helmet here. I'm going to paint it red or black. I see a white door and I want to paint it black. No people, no drugs. This is normal. So we had it all greased up. But anyway, my cousin Jerry Reed, a famous country singer, I think. Anyway, he can't sing, but he sure can build an engine. And he took this thing off, tore it down. It came pretty much built, but he tore that thing down and checked the head and torqued everything, and then put some quadruplex on the flux capacitor, and I knocked off my air filter, being a novice on this, and broke the chain. Now, this is my scientific guess. If anybody out there who, Lord knows why you would even watch this video this long, 51-year-old man rambling about his tomatoes. Next thing I'll be telling you about all the medications I take. Of course, now all the medications I do not take. I'm 80. I'm almost 3 months with 0 methadone. My body's still withdrawing, although I'm doing good now. I usually get the shakes in the morning. I'm not quite sure why. I do have a hard time waking up when I'm shaking, but hard time waking up is due to my ADHD. But my cousin Jerry Lee Reed, maybe, no. I don't know his middle name. He put this together, and this has so much power. And this is my question for those that have watched this far enough and know science. My guess is because the chain fell off the first time. Now, we do know that because we tried to put good motor mounts on it, we were trying, to let it vibrate enough. But anyway, the engine kicked over a bit before it got tightened all the way down. But I was the one driving it, and I had leaned it down into a corner and was accelerating out of the turn just around the block here. I might have been doing 100 miles, 105, I think my GPS said. But this thing has so much power. I think it kind of gyroscoped on me. Now, if you take a regular bike tire and spin it, and then try to, I don't know what if it's the A or Y axis or how their scientists talk. But if you try to wiggle that, it fights it. And I think something happened with the chain, the centrifugal forces, the motor twisting the first time, which compromised the chain, and then it broke going through a corner, leaning it down to the ground so the engine is not at a right angle toward the road, and it's spinning like a gyroscope, and I'm not sure which way it spins and how that would affect things. But if somebody knows like John Maddox knows a math equation explaining all that, then I feel real sorry for him if he knows the equation. Anyway, see how I turned a compliment into an insult? I'm playing. But anyway, look at this beautiful bike. I'm so appreciative of my cousin, Jerry Lee Reed, and his wife, Connie Wayne Rhodes. I'm going to talk her into getting on camera with me. If you want to see somebody crazy, that's my cousin Connie. And we were joking. And some of you know I have a temper problem. Don't want to explain why, but it's kind of a natural. I used to beat myself up. Now I can't move it inwardly, so it's got to be expressed outwardly. But anyway, we were joking about Connie had somebody, assault her in a certain sense in a bank, got into her physical space and physically touched her, not in a sexual manner, but just, shouldn't touch another man's wife or, on the arm, grab a woman on the arm or whatever. But anyway, we were joking about Connie and I running around and stuff together, and how he goes, "No, you all get arrested." And we had a good laugh because, oh my goodness, throwing my Uncle Pete, and you would have a force to be reckoned with me and Connie and Uncle Pete. We've all got the same kind of silly, but that anger that rises in a split second. Now I'm going to stop rambling and just let you all enjoy the bike. It's a Huffy. It's the Neil Lusso. And the power scares me. Power literally scares me. This thing is going to be fast. I only had it at half throttle, and since it won't idle, I was pedal assisting through some of the turns, and then I thought I'd kind of help the engine. I'm breaking it in, so I just started pedaling, and at half throttle, it's going as fast as I can pedal, which has got to be 20 miles an hour. Because this thing is geared pretty low or high, however you want to look at it, from whichever sprocket you look from. Sprockets, I got a 10, 44, and then I didn't count the teeth on the others. Bracket welded in the frame. Not sure if I'm going to change the seat. The springs are, well, they feel bouncy, which is really, really good, but they feel so bouncy, I have this fear that this is going to come loose and then penetrate the plastic and then poke me in the butt. And I'm scared of that happening for some reason. I don't know if it's a childhood traumatic memory or what, although this is very close to the bike I was riding when I got my traumatic brain injury as a kid, which is probably why I'm all messed up now. Brain trauma and being born neurodivergent. Boy, Lord knew he was going to make a tornado out of me. But anyway, I appreciate Jerry, master mechanic, helped me put this together. Well, I helped him put it together. I think I put on one tie strap, and I think it was right there where Jerry was holding it for me. And if you notice, I just now noticed I didn't even get it all the way real tight or snug, or unless, no, that's the wire, never mind. Okay, in conclusion, since I'm a preacher, I have the right to say in conclusion 3 times, and you all know I'm lying. So in conclusion, well, I'm not quite done. Yeah, I am. You all come back now, you hear?